Are you just out here trying to get a bag so you become a coach, holistic coach? Or do you actually live this lifestyle, see and know the impact of it, and want to share that?
Welcome to the Golden Age Goddess Podcast. We stand for peace, love, happiness, and abundance for all. Listen to your heart and soul's call, and we will encourage you to be bold, audacious, and devoted. Kim, Indigo, and Wind, helping you win by healing deep within. Only way to the Golden Age. Like, share, and subscribe today.
What are some ways that we could help others or help ourselves, continue to help ourselves, and knowing what information to follow, who to follow, what spiritual teacher should we be following? Like, what has helped the both of you discern, like what information to take in, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, well, off the back, I want to be clear on something that's coming through for me as you ask that question is we're not supposed to be following anyone. Let's get that first clear. No one's supposed to follow us. That's why even that mentality of followers or none of that's about to be eliminated as our consciousness grows. I don't care if they are even if they're a pure soul. You're not supposed to be following them. You're supposed to be following yourself, your heart, and our soul. So that's for one. Yeah. Number two, so moving past that, the following. I truly don't believe that we're supposed to be following anyone. That's like a big distortion in the human psyche and the human consciousness collective. Yeah, it's just, again, authority, superiority complex. Even just looking at the word following, it's like, no, we're supposed to follow ourselves. So that's for one. Number two, when it comes to spiritual teachers or spiritual gurus, for one, I look at, are they teaching people to eventually follow themselves? And to be their own guru, to be their own savior, to be their own teacher, to be their own leader. A true leader, a true spiritual teacher is always supposed to lead you back to yourself. That's the first thing I'm looking at. Second thing is I look at how they treat others, how they treat people, the energy behind their words, not just what they're saying. I don't care if they can channel. I don't care if God Yeshua was sitting on their lap. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about the theatrics. I don't care if they have millions of followers. I don't even care if they have one follower. I don't care about any of that. I look at how they treat people. Are they inclusive? Are they respectful? Mm-hmm. Are they kind? Are they considerate? Are they able to take accountability themselves? Or are they, or is it always just about everybody else? Are they also looking at ways to improve and to be a better spiritual teacher in listening to how everyone else feels? Or is it just about how they feel? I look at all of those things. And if I'm in those spaces, I want to feel welcome. I'm not saying people have to become your best friend or kiss your behind. But I am saying, yes, you're supposed to feel welcome. When I come into a space, yes, we're supposed to be acknowledged. We're supposed to feel safe. We're supposed to feel heard. Again, respect for everyone. I'm looking at all of those things, how they treat people, how they treat themselves, and also, yes, how they are showing up for themselves too. Are they saying one thing, but then doing another? Are they in integrity? Are they taking care of their body, their mind, their soul? And this, I'm gonna be honest, this may sound bad, but I'm gonna be real. Like, even if I go to a doctor or a healer and I see that they're heavily overweight, what can you teach me? What can you teach me? You're not even taking care of yourself. So those are the things I look at. How people treat people. Are you leading us back to self? Are you accountable? Are you aware? Are you inclusive? Do you want to include everyone? So that's what I look at.
Oh, I love that. Well, I mean, when yes, goddess, yes.
I receive.
You said that like completely. Whatever I was coming through for me, you said it. I was like, yes, okay, yes, goddess, yes.
Yes. Hey, great goddesses think alike, okay?
That's right. What came through for me was that are you practicing what you're teaching?
Yes.
You know, you just said it like, okay, if I go to the doctor and they're trying to teach me about my health, but they don't take care of their health, you know, are you in alignment with that which you are sharing, with that which you're so passionate about, with that which you are teaching and influencing? You have to be in alignment. You have to practice what you preach. You have to be doing that which you are sharing. It had to work for you first before you can even get out there and try to share. A lot of times people are kind of just like regurgitating information or doing it for the sake of business or something like that. Where's your intention? Where's this coming from? What is your what are you aligned with? Are you just out here trying to get a bag so you become a coach, holistic coach? Or do you actually live this lifestyle, see and know the impact of it, and want to share that from a space of, I live it, I know that I have the results, I have done the work, and now I can share it with you. And if this helps, it great. If not, then there's so many other tools, so many other things that you can explore and experience to see if that helps you.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. I have to thank you for saying the last thing you just said, Indigo, because I have to touch on that. Another way that you know a true leader is they don't try to force their way of thinking on you.
Right.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if they truly believe so much that their way of living or their way is beautiful, but they are open to say, you know what, you can go whatever way. Not you can, but they're not making you feel guilty or feel bad for not doing it their way.
Yes.
That is huge. Huge.
Yes.
It's not putting that guilt trip on you.
Oh yeah.
That's automatically how I know as well. I don't care, even if the person is saying nothing but things that resonate with me. The minute that guilt starts coming in there, or you have to do it this way, no.
Deuces.
Peace. Yes. Peace and bye.
Yes.
All of that is in alignment with what I feel, and I also know. I did want to add another way that people can discern to follow that, teacher, spiritual teacher, or anyone else that they feel like they want to consult with, is doing research, doing a lot of research. Like, even if if that person has like been recommended, or there's like reviews, or there's like people that that have gone there before, or have that have how do I say, like like if you're like a spiritual teacher and that was your your spiritual teacher before, and if a group of people, like calling them and reaching out to them and seeing how their interactions with that person was, or like I would say, is like going deep within as well, and making sure that doing those extensive deep within, and like making sure that it feels really good in your heart, and it feels in alignment with, like you guys said, is this person practicing what they're preaching? I think that's very important. Practicing what they're preaching. And something that I've seen in my journey with like the spiritual community is like the glamour, the this, the that. Is looking beyond that. It's like looking beyond the glamour and spirituality. Like, not just because someone has a singing bowl or is a ayahuasca teacher or is doing a
or
mushroom
has their or has their makeup done to the gods, right?
make I mean, all of that is beautiful, but it's
It
like
is beautiful, right? Yeah, I'm glad we're
it is,
acknowledging that, right?
yeah, it is beautiful, but it's like I used to do that. I used to see spiritual and I was like, wow, I want to do that, or I want to be, you know, and then to come to find out it's like some of these people aren't in their hearts, you know? So it's like just being
Smoke and
very
mirrors.
careful, smoky mirrors, looking past the illusions of spirituality and it becoming a trend, you know, with like people trying to do this or people trying to do that so quickly. It's like I feel like what I feel is that just being very careful and clear with what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what your heart calls you to do, and doing that extensive research, I feel like is very important. On top of
Those
what
are
you guys
Yes.
said.
yes.
Yes,
On top of what you said too. Woo!
I would like to add just one little quick point before we move on is that it is important to realize that someone may have resonated with where we were at that certain level of consciousness. And it's okay for us to evolve and outgrow a certain teacher, guru, someone who we looked up to or who we went to for direction and as a guide. It's totally fine that you no longer resonate with a part of you that resonated with that information person at a certain period of time, because we are all evolving. And at one point you may have, you know, been going so hard for that information and that would have been resonating. And you realize as you grow that spirituality is not a just one size fit all. You know, you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to, you know, have the singing bowl or channel in a trance state and do all of this other things that may be popularized in the spiritual community or that conscious community. So realizing that we are growing and we are evolving, and just because you resonated with that person at one point doesn't mean that you're going to continue to, and you shouldn't beat yourself up if that information doesn't resonate with you anymore as you grow and evolve.
That's a great point, because a lot of times we can feel shame, right? And regret, guilt, and we can make that our identity. That, you know, it's like, oh, you know, once you know the truth, a lot of times we can feel like our identity is still tied into the lies or to the delusion and the distortion. So that's so true. And I do want to say really quick too, before we move on, is that, yeah, I love that Kim brought up the glamour, because the thing is like Kim said, there's nothing wrong with all of that. You know, you're supposed to have a nice setup, right? But look beyond the glamour, look beyond that, feel into the energy, look at the mannerisms. Again, look at how people are treating other people, and also notice what type of people are there. Is it just one of only one type of people? I don't want to go anywhere where there's not diversity.
Yes.
You know, I want to see diversity. I don't want to just see one type of people. And I don't want to see cliquish energy either. And again, I'm not saying we're all supposed to just be one big, you know, group of like, you know, like when you go into the space, you think we're all supposed to just come together and be best friends. That's not what I'm saying. It should feel inclusive. It should feel inclusive. It should feel respectful. It should feel loving. So I'm paying attention to all that stuff. So yeah, look beyond the glamour. That's all I want to say.
Yes, absolutely. So like, then that kind of brings me to thinking, you know, like we were saying, sometimes as we evolve, as we grow and we realize certain teachers, you know, healers and information that no longer resonate with us or may have been misinformation, we can become like you said, doubtful, or like don't really know how to kind of like move forward with allowing people into our space, allowing ourselves to connect with others who maybe consider themselves a teacher or a guru, or just anyone who may have claims to be highly intuitive, right? So, like, how do we protect ourselves or move forward without being like super like doubtful and like pushing, pushing people away, but still being open to like allow ourselves to kind of like discern, but also be open to others?
Yeah.
So there's a saying that's coming to me that I really like, and I really agree with this saying. It says, "Never trust people that don't trust people." And I love this saying. Never trust people that don't trust people.
Yes.
And what that means is that, people who, we've all been hurt, we've all been let down. But if you have that brick wall up and you just don't trust people at all, then it creates all this bitterness. It creates all this anger within yourself. It creates all this, blockage, potential blockage from your blessings. And the way I feel about it is, if you feel like you can't trust people, you first need to learn to trust yourself. First need to learn to trust yourself.
Yes, goddess. That's exactly, yes.
Yes. Trust yourself. And then you don't have to worry about, who you can trust or who can potentially be doubting. Again, that's like too busy living in the mind. Give people a chance and feel, and again, tune into the energy. Come into any space, come into any environment, come to people with a clean slate. With a clean slate, and allow people to show you who they are. People will show you who they are in some way, somehow. And so there's no need to go around not trusting people, because now you can't be trusted. Because if you're not going around like having this mindset, like, I don't trust anybody. No, trust yourself, and then you will be able to discern who can be trusted and who shouldn't be trusted.
Exactly.
It all starts with self.
I love that. I love it.
I
love you so much. I was also going to add to that is like, you could also try things, try new things. If you want to go to a class that someone's going to be speaking at, go and try it out, and see how the vibration is, see how the energy is when you get there, and how the teacher is teaching, and how the environment feels. And, if it's not in alignment, then, move on to the next one until you find the group of people that you feel like are in alignment with what you're currently going through in your journey. So I feel like that's another way that you could trust yourself and also trust others, is going into these spiritual places, or not even spiritual places, any other place, right, that you could go into. And if you don't like a certain doctor, you go try a different doctor, or, or do that as well. But just go in and try out and try new things. And another way that you can protect yourself is claiming that protection over yourself, is like, God, like, Archangel Michael. I always say Archangel Michael, original blue light of Archangel Michael, protect me in my path and lead me to the right direction. The original blue light of Archangel Michael. So that's what I use when I go out to spiritual places and try new spiritual classes or this and that. I just go and try them out and see for myself and feel into the energy. And, whatever happens in that, that's, if I go back or not, that decision will be made then. So that's my advice.
I love that.
Great advice, Kim. Great. And I totally agree with both of you. You literally said it. Just practice with your intuition, practice with your discernment, and then you will gain trust in yourself. You will learn to trust yourself through the practice. Like you said, Kim, go out, go to these different spaces and see how you feel, and honor yourself in that, you know, knowing your truth, knowing, okay, something feels off and I don't know what it is right now, but that's okay. I don't have to know it all, but I'm going to excuse myself. Or, you know, honoring your intuition will help to strengthen that. And then you won't have to worry about if somebody's trying to get over on you, or if, you know, you need to be, you know, pushing people away. You will know when it's time to allow someone to get closer, or to say enough is enough. You know, like you said, you shield yourself and you know who to allow to get close, or who to keep at a distance. Okay, I have my space here, you know, personal space. We learned that in school, right? This is my personal space. This is my energetic field, and that's yours. And you can't just come in and hug me. You know what I'm saying? You might not be allowed to come in that close, but I still may be able to talk with you and feel you out, feel your energy, see if it resonates, if we're aligned, if we are meant to get a little closer. And if not, we would know, because our intuition is telling us, because we're tuning in and tapping into ourselves, into that space.
Yeah. I love that you also mentioned too, you know, you're not allowed to just come in and hug me, because, you know, it's interesting. I'm actually the person that comes in and hugs people. I'm like, hi, here's a hug, you know, but then I realized that truly, even I had to realize, hey, I may be hugging someone where their energetic field, their morphogenetic field is very dense and very toxic. And so now I'm intertwining that energy with myself, too busy trying to hug everybody. But like you said, we can still honor each other's space. Hi, how are you? Without over interfering as well. That's another thing, is like not overextending yourself, not over interfering. And I had to learn that, because I'm like, oh, I forgot. We're in the 3D. We're not in the 5D yet. You can't just run up to everybody and hug them. You know?
For real.
The innocence in me is like, oh, come and give me a hug, you know, with pure intentions. But once I'm in their field, I can feel, oh, this hug wasn't genuine, or this person's energy was very, very dense. And now I'm feeling like, oh, I got to clear all this energy.
Right.
Yes. So thank you, Kim, for also mentioning that. Yes, clear your energy field, put a bubble of protection over you when you walk into these spaces. And don't be, you know, like keeping a distance from people, but just stay, like, I like what Indigo always says, stay neutral and just be observant without overextending yourself. Just be in your own energy, so to speak. Be in your own energy. Hold space and create the space through your love.
Welcome to the Golden Age Goddess Podcast. We stand for peace, love, happiness, and abundance for all. Listen to your heart and soul's call, and we will encourage you to be bold, audacious, and devoted. Kim, Indigo, and Wind, helping you win by healing deep within. Only way to the Golden Age. Like, share, and subscribe today.